Alright, this is just going to be a quick tutorial with how to use Desmos to make your picture and your shape. I'm going to just try to make a smiley face here quick. I'm going to center my smiley face at, I don't know, 5, 10. So I'm going to start with a circle. So I got x minus h, my center, I'm going to put at 5. And then I got y minus 10 squared, and then I want my circle to have a radius of 6. Oh, that's not very big. That's not very big. Let's go with a radius of 9. Okay, so here's my circle for my smiley face. Now I'd like my smiley face to be shaded in, so I'm going to change my equal sign into an inequality sign. So notice if you just do less than, you're going to have the dashed line around your smiley face. If you do less than or equal to, you're going to have the closed sign. If I would have done greater than, that would have shaded the outside of the circle, and I want the inside to be shaded. So that's a little bit for shading. Now I want my smiley face to be yellow or orange, so I'm going to change the color. I'm going to do that by hitting this little settings wheel here. And then I can tap on the color that you see here, and I can change the color. There's not a ton of choices, but I do have orange here, so I'm going to go with that. And then you can also change the gradient. So like if you wanted this to be, it's 0.4, so that means it's lightly see-through, so I like that. So I'm going to leave that, but you could change it to be higher if you wanted. And you can also change like the width of your lines and such with that. And then say I wanted to make 2 circles, I could copy the equation using this button right here, the copy. And that way I could have like double circles and I could move my center. So say my picture had multiple circles, I could copy this multiple times and then just move the center to make the circles in different areas. I only want 1 circle, so I'm going to leave that there. And I'm going to use a parabola for my mouth. I want my mouth to be like right around here, so I want a parabola that opens up. So I'm going to do a y equals, so it's going to be y, let's see, I want it to be centered with my circle, so I'm going to put it at 5, and then we're going to go equal to, and then I am not quite sure how I want the slope to be on my parabola yet, so I'm just going to start with like 1/9 for my a value, and then I got x. Let's try minus 5 for my vertex, so 5, 5 for my vertex squared. So I think that looks like a good, nice smile. It looks centered well with my parabola, but I want to get rid of the excess line. So then I'm going to want to restrict my domain here. I think I'm going to restrict it so my y values stop at 8, so that my parabola cuts off right here, and so that's going to be between x values of 0 and 10 about. So I'm going to go to my ABC keyboard, and you're going to pick the curly brackets, which is right down here, and I want to go x's between 0 and 10. So I'm going to go back to the numbers, and I'm going to go 0 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 10. And that's how I'm going to restrict that. And then I go back to ABCs and close my curly bracket. Whoops, I think you have to hit the shift to get the right side of the bracket. Okay, I also want my mouth to be filled in, so I'm going to change my equal sign again to an inequality. So I'm going to make it, actually I want to do the other part of the mouth, so I'm going to do greater than, but then notice that I have like an excessive amount of, whoops, if you accidentally delete your line, there's an undo button here at the top. So I have an excessive amount of color here. The blue, I don't want it to extend forever, so I'm actually going to have to restrict the range as well. So I'm going to add another curly bracket. The range is the y values are going to be restricted, and I'm going to restrict them from 5 to 8. You always put your smaller value first, so I'm going to go from 5 less than or equal to y less than or equal to 8. And then now you can see just go back to your curly brackets, hit shift and close that. So now I have my mouth is open and shaded. I don't want a blue mouth, so I'm going to go back into edit that, and I'm going to change my mouth colors to red. Okay, now you could be creative with your eyes. I think I'm just going to do some simple lines for my eyes. So I need to use some horizontal lines. So I'm just going to do y equals, I think I want my eyes to be at like 14. So I'm going to do y equals 14. But then I want to restrict the domain because I don't want my eyes to go all the way through my circle. So I just want my eyes to maybe be from my x coordinate, maybe from 0 to 4 or 0 to 3, just a nice thing. So I'm going to change this, go back to ABC, add the curly bracket, and I want to go from 0 between x and less than 3. So you can see I restricted that. And then I'm going to go back under ABC and close that bracket. So there's my eye. Now I want the same eye on the other side, so I'm going to go back into my settings and I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to hit done, but then I'm going to go back and change this, and the other eye for the x value, so I'm looking at my x-axis down here, I want to change that between maybe 7 and 10. Let's see what that looks like. So I'm going to change my x values to go between 7 and 10 this time. Okay, so I got eyes. Then I could do maybe an ellipse for the nose and get that taken care of. So I got like x minus, I probably want my nose to start, the center to be at like 10 maybe, or I'm sorry, the x coordinate would be like 5. So maybe do the same center as my circle. And then we'll do a horizontal or vertical ellipse. We'll just start with 9 for now. I can go back and change it. Plus, and then I want to do y minus 10 squared, and then divided by, let's see, 16. And then we always have to have that equal to 1. So that's clearly too big, so I'm going to have to change this value. Let's go with like 4 and maybe go with 3. That's still pretty big. Let's go with 2 and then maybe 3. So I think that looks good for a nose. I could maybe move it up a little bit. So maybe I want to move my center to like 12. No, 11. Ah, that's perfect. All right. There we go. There's my smiley face. So if you notice, I've already logged in, and then I can save this graph. I can change this to say Desmos project. And I want to delete that. I want it to say Desmos project Allie Anderson. So then that's going to be your name. Make sure you're logged in and then save it very frequently. So it's good to go. All right. Hopefully that was helpful to just kind of review how to put in the functions, how to do shading, how to add domain and range restrictions. You can also turn on and off the functions, copy and paste them, etc. All right. Thanks for watching.